The mother of a young disabled boy badly injured in an accident at a South Auckland kindergarten says there's been no justice for her son, even after the kindy was found to have breached multiple health and safety rules. In October last year, 4-year-old Masua Tusa, who has cerebral palsy and uses a wheelchair, suffered extensive facial injuries after he fell downstairs at Manurewa West Kindergarten while he was supposed to be supervised. No one sought medical attention for him, and his mother, Millie, only discovered his injuries when she went to collect him as usual. Documents released to Checkpoint by the Ministry of Education show Manurewa West Kindergarten was placed on a provisional licence and required to meet certain conditions, including retraining staff. Its licence was only reinstated 2 days before Christmas. Millie Tusa says her smiley, happy boy, Masua, has changed since he took a tumble down the stairs at Manurewa West Kindergarten last October while strapped in his wheelchair. He hasn't returned to kindy since because he's anxious and fearful, and he's not at all keen to start school later this year. Millie's anxious too and struggling with feelings of guilt. Talking about what's happened to her son brings her to tears.
I try to make it sound like I'm happy he's going to primary. I'm like, so son, you're going to go primary this year? You're going to go big boy school? And he'll turn around and I'm like, no, mummy, no. I stay home with mummy. I was like, why? And he goes, I don't like school anymore. And he'll just sit there and goes, mummy, I'm scared.
How does that make you feel?
It breaks my heart knowing that I trusted that one incident changed my son's mindset for life. One accident that teachers think that was so minor has traumatized my son. The effect that it's had on me is that unless it's my family that's looking after my son, I don't trust anyone looking after my son. I get little panic attacks if I have to go somewhere.
It wasn't his first significant fall on the kindy's watch. It wasn't even his second. This was Masua's third tumble in 9 months while in the kindergarten's care. We'll come back to that. But when Masua nosedived down the stairs in his wheelchair in October, he landed on concrete, severely grazing his face. Large patches of skin were scraped from his nose, forehead and cheeks. Here's a reminder from the story we did at the time. In photos taken within 24 hours of his accident, the 4-year-old has severe facial injuries where the top layer of skin is gone. They're on part of his nose and upper lip. A large chunk of his left cheek is scraped raw and his left eye is swollen shut. The red, angry-looking grazes continue along his eyebrow and between his eyes. They're also on the left side of his forehead, right up to his hairline. They're weeping and they almost look like friction burns. Documents released to Checkpoint under the Official Information Act show the kindergarten was in serious breach of health and safety regulations. The teacher who looked after Masua following his most recent fall did not seek further medical treatment or advice from head office, as required under the kindergarten's own health and safety policy. So instead of seeing a doctor, Masua, who had landed face down on concrete, sat without further medical attention from about 1:30 in the afternoon until 4 p.m. when his mother collected him as normal, oblivious to what had gone on.
I don't know how they became professionals if they don't know the stuff that they're supposed to know, especially when they told me that they were able to look after a kid that's down to a wheelchair.
It was Masua's mum, Millie, who took him straight to a doctor. Documents released to Checkpoint show that Masua had fallen from his wheelchair 2 other times, in February and June last year. The exact details have been redacted, but what is clear is that kindy staff failed to do the right thing on both those occasions too. They didn't follow health and safety policy. Here's what the Education Ministry memo says.
Policy and procedure requires staff to apply first aid, assess the child in situation, contact parent or emergency contact, and call head office for further advice and support. A list of considerations regarding the injury, illness or incident will be made, which will then lead to further action, including contacting an ambulance.
That didn't happen. Kindy staff were ignorant to the policies and didn't understand or carry out their full responsibilities. The ministry identified 10 serious breaches of health and safety protocol, including under the headings of medical assistance, training emergency plan, hazard checklist, and children washed when soiled.
I really just don't like that kindy. I can't say I hate it, but now I hate going past that kindergarten. I just don't like. I'm not saying that I hate the staff. I don't like how they handled my son's situation.
A medical opinion sought by the police found Masua's injuries were consistent with an accident, but they're still concerned about the similarity between Masua's June and October falls and the lack of medical assistance or follow-up by staff. Masua's mother, Millie, is adamant the kindy didn't contact her the day of the October accident. The exact details of what's noted as 4 attempts to contact her are blanked out. A summary, though, notes the information on Masua's contact form was not complete.
Even if they couldn't get a hold of me, as they said, they should have taken them to doctors. Not just sit there and then just expect things to just go away.
The Ministry of Education suspended Manurewa West Kindergarten's full licence just over a week after the October tumble, issuing it instead with a provisional licence. That required it to meet certain conditions, including professional development for staff and providing proof staff understood their responsibilities in case of an accident. The kindy's full licence was reinstated on December 23rd. The Ministry of Education declined to be interviewed, saying it has nothing to add. But Masua Tusa says she's still not sure of exactly how her son fell down the stairs and why the specialist carer that should have been caring for Masua one-on-one was not with him at the time.
They should only take in children they can handle. If they know they can't handle certain children, they should be honest.
The county's Manukau Kindergarten Association that manages the Manurewa West Kindergarten, along with 26 others, has ignored our requests for an interview. We wanted to ask exactly what changes they've made and whether staff at all their kindies are aware of their health and safety obligations. Do you feel you've got any justice out of this, Millie?
No.
Well, what would justice look like for your son? What would you choose?
To have their school closed down. That's all I want is, but then I feel selfish. I feel heartless for all the other children that actually go there and enjoy that kindy.
Ministry of Education documents say the Teachers' Council will conduct its own investigation, but the council's told Checkpoint it's still waiting on information from the ministry.